Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. What you're looking at here was my effort to build a mob spawner. And I kind of needed it because I was kind of running out of ways to get some XP. But I had never really built a mob spawner before. So this is my attempt at that. I had a little help by looking at, again, because I take a lot of inspiration from Waddles. I saw what he was doing in his current the Minecraft guide series. So that is what I took inspiration from for this build. I didn't do anything as grand as he did. I believe he did a 50 by 50 space. My space here is only 30 by 30. As you're gonna see, it was a challenge for me to get even that done. I committed several mistakes working on this build, trying to find out where I wanted to put the trench and everything, because to be honest, I saw his build, but I didn't exactly follow along like what he was doing. So a lot of this I kind of played it by ear. It just was like I saw his build, took inspiration from it, but since I didn't see him actually build it up, it wasn't like I could follow a step-by-step measure. So what I did was I saw his build and I kind of used it as a trial and error metric. So that's how I came up with this design, influenced by him, but definitely worked on it by myself. And as I was going through this, you're going to see I found a couple of patches of, like iron and stuff. So I was definitely taking that. But a lot of this build was definitely difficult to work on. I probably should have paid more attention to what he was doing when he was making it. But it was one of those where I saw him do it, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to do this in my world one day. And I wanted to take that and just run it on my own, which is why, even though he did his, oh wow, maybe a month or two ago, I didn't get to working on it until just recently, because it wasn't until recently that I saw in my world that I was kind of running out of ways to get XP when I needed it. Even though you can see here I'm level 40 with what I'm doing, it because of how much I enchant items, I needed a place where I can just kind of like come in and grab XP. And since I'd had this idea in the back burner for such a long time, I figured, okay, this would be the time to get to it, So that's when I really started working on it. And I'm glad I watched this channel to get that inspiration for this build. But maybe I should have paid closer attention to what he was doing, so I wouldn't have to go through the trial and error that that I went through making this. Just a quick spoiler alert, towards the end of the video, when you're going to look into it, you're going to see that the light level is still extremely high in the back. And it was, I took a long time trying to figure out what I had done wrong. But with the help of a Facebook group, the Minecraft Adult Community Facebook group, I was able to see what I did wrong. And my mistake was that I was worried about mobs spawning on the top of the build, that I only used a half slab as the roof or ceiling or whatever, when I should have used a full block and then put a half slab over that to prevent spawns. So what had happened was I went through this whole thing and finished it and couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. But you'll see that soon enough. my main issue here was trying to figure out, where I wanted the entrance, where the center was. I had a basic idea of what I wanted to do with the whole thing, but it really took a long time for it to come together. That's why I say I'm not the best builder in Minecraft. It takes me quite a while to figure what I'm doing. Even here, marking out the middle, took me forever to figure out what I was doing wrong, just making these stairs. And it's one of those where I think it's a little bit my anxiety and my impatience to build something that puts me in these kind of positions where it's like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I making this so much more difficult than it should be, Like, why did I do that? There was an easier way to do all this, but I just wasn't doing it. I don't know. I like making it harder on myself, I guess. But once I started figuring everything out, it moved along okay. I'm not gonna say it was a fast build. I think I spent a good I want to say I spent a good hour working on this project because I was, you know what, let's be fair, I was stubborn. I didn't want to go back and look at what he did. I kind of wanted to, even though I took inspiration from his build, I wanted to do this on my own. So, maybe had I been a little less stubborn, this project would have gone a lot faster. And see, I don't know why I'm filling in the entire area here. I could have just put the half slab on the bottom area instead of using 3. So I was using items unnecessarily. But that's... See, right there, I could have just either used the full block or I could have just placed one top slab. But... yeah, I did this the hard way. Not the fun way. Looking back, I probably should have just, swallowed my pride a bit and been like, yeah, let me get something going here, something easier, but I chose to do it this way. But in the end, I'm glad the way it turned out. 30 by 30 area is great. It produces just enough mobs for me to get the XP that I need, and pretty quick pace. I went from this level almost up 10 with just a couple of visits, so I can't complain. Ultimately it's serving its function, but I could have made things easier on myself when I look back at it. So that's my only complaint about what I was doing here. But like I said, it was my oh man, like I don't know, I just probably should have, yeah, I probably should have just swallowed my pride and been like, let me go check out his build real quick. But that didn't happen. But even though I didn't swallow my pride and this took me longer than I wanted it to, I gotta admit, I did get a sense of pride knowing that I was able to complete it, at least the majority of it, on my own without having to go in and look for help from other sources. It wasn't until I saw that I had made some kind of mistake that no mobs were spawning that I was like, okay, let me ask this community here. I mean, and they're a bunch of good people. If you're an adult Minecraft player, I definitely recommend looking up the Minecraft adult community on Facebook. A lot of friendly and helpful people in the group to help players of all skill level. What they did in helping me find out where I made my mistake, yeah, that was really cool of them, And without them, I don't think I would have figured out what I did wrong, and this build just would have sat there and have just taken up space in my world, or I probably would have just come in and Probably just would have come in and torn it down because of how frustrated I would have gotten at it. But because of that community, that was pretty good, you know, finding out with their help. You know, a couple of comments people did, you know, they're like, oh, did you do this? Did you do this? I thought it was maybe like the texture pack that I was using or something. I never would have figured that the simplest answer would have been to just use a full block to create the roof. I was not aware that slabs let light in still. So here you got I got the basic foundation done. Yeah, I didn't know that slabs let light in. I thought that it was a good enough covering, and so I ran with that. But now I know, and I'm gonna tell you guys too, you need to put full blocks down if you want to fully block out the light level. So I'm glad that they had told me that and finally got that worked out, because I spent a good day frustrated not knowing what I had done wrong. But I'm glad that they walked me through, or not walked me through, but I'm glad that their comments were really helpful. And you can see here, this is why I always say I'm not the best builder in Minecraft. I don't know why I didn't run it from the ground. It would have been faster instead of crawling, as I'm doing here. Yeah, this is painful to watch how slow I was working on this. Yeah, this is painful to watch. But this is how we learn, right? We learn from our mistakes, we learn what we did wrong from them, and hopefully we don't repeat them, right? So I worked on this for quite a while, trying to figure out, like, what am I doing? And yeah, this could have been done so much better, so much faster had I really just worked on it from the ground. Because you're gonna see here, I go through several processes of just slowly crawling, getting all this put in place. But it's these halves, and all for it to, you know, come out as a mistake. Not a mistake in building this, but the fact that because I was stubborn and didn't want to look up what I was doing wrong, you know, in the first place, yeah, that's a bitter pill to swallow. But looking back at this is, I don't even, at least this is moving fast till I run into something, right? Oh. We're looking back on this. This could have been this could have been done a lot easier and a lot faster had I maybe just even thought this out. Not that this wasn't planned. I definitely had an idea what I wanted to do here. It's just the execution of that plan isn't what it should have been. And I'm trying to figure out why I paused there. Was I just trying to figure out what to do next? I think so. I think I was just trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. What can I do to make it faster? Obviously, I kept doing the same thing, so didn't learn that one. Didn't learn that lesson. Yeah, I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, this is going to take a long time. And it does. These kind of builds take a long time. Whenever you're doing something that spans, you know, a good chunk of blocks on Minecraft, it's not going to be a quick build. But what I was doing here was just making it harder on myself, doing it this way. Yeah, see, there I go. Alright, let's work on a crawl again, right? Yeah, this could have gone so much faster had I just been like, okay, let me, why did I decide to do it this way? Because the interior is only 2 blocks tall. I don't want Endermen spawning in here. I have enough Endermen spawns in the rest of my world that I don't need. I mean, I have more than enough Ender Pearls in my storage. So I don't understand why I didn't do it from the ground. If it was just 2 blocks high, jumping down to the ground would have made a lot more sense and would have been more efficient than what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm being so cautious for no reason. Yeah, here because of how long it was taking me. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm not kidding when I say this took me an hour. You know what? No, scratch that. It took me more than an hour to get this built. And just for it to be like I was wrong. If it wasn't for that Minecraft community, I would have never figured out what I did wrong, and I just would have been so frustrated trying to see what happened. See what happens when you don't look for help, people, or swallow your pride. You end up making things hard on yourself. What's that one saying? My dad's fond of it, and I tell it to my kids too. And right now, oh no, that's right. My dad was fond of saying it, and I find myself saying it to my kids now too. But I decided to work harder, not smarter. Had I decided to work smarter and actually stopped and thought about what I was doing, I could have finished this project. Oh, I could have finished this in maybe 30% faster. I'm not going to say half the time because I'm not that good a builder in the first place, but maybe I could have cut off at least 20 minutes off the build, off of my total time. But yeah, I decided not to do that. And I'm gonna admit, I didn't realize how many slabs this was gonna take to do. I figuratively went through all of the concrete that I had in storage to make this build, the slabs, the stairs, everything. It was it's worth it in the end, but I didn't realize how much material I was gonna go through making this. That was probably the most surprising thing that hit me when I was making this build. So I kind of have an idea now when I go back and make the fencing around the village near my home and my home hub, how much material I'm going to use. And I guess it's a good thing that I deforested so much of the area, because looking at how much wood I'm going to end up using, I'm always worried about the sun, but thinking about how much wood I'm going to end up using on that build, wow, it's kind of daunting. So that's going to be a project in and of itself, isn't it? I might do that on a live stream. I tend to live stream for my first live stream that I did on Twitch. Took me about, I spent an hour 15 live streaming. My last episode, my latest episode, if you watched it, I also live streamed for about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. So when I build a wall around my village, that's probably what's going to happen. And here you can see what I'm talking about. You can see that light is penetrating this entire area. There is no darkness in there at all. And I'm kind of just showing you what I did down here. I would eventually tear that bottom out too and put some hoppers and slabs in there to make it easier. And it's like, why didn't I extend one of these things? That was dumb. I just made that more difficult. Made that more difficult on myself than it should have been. And it's like, okay, let's just put this down there. See, that was a smart thing to do. But again, like I said, I wasn't working smart. I was working hard. So that was quite dumb on my part. But you can see the light level is still the same as it is on the non-covered area of this area. So I can't believe it took me that I didn't see. To be honest, I didn't know that half slabs let light in. And you can see here I kind of take out my frustration on some sheep around the area, so that was kind of sad. But kind of needed to do that. And I don't think I was recording for much longer after this. I think I was no, not. I don't think I was a bit frustrated. I was frustrated at what happened here, so I kind of just took it out on the local fauna around here, looking for some kind of hostile mob in the water, but didn't find it. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys that build. Maybe in another video I'll show you the corrections I made to it and some edits that made it. It's now fully functioning, but at the time of this video, because that's how I had left it, yeah, it's not my best work and I'm not proud of it. Yeah, even the poor fox paid for my frustrations. So like I said, it's not my best work. I'm not proud of how I went about doing this. I am proud of the end results, but definitely I could have worked. I should not have worked as hard as I did on this build. I'm happy with the end result, but could have been done a lot easier. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent this. I want to show you guys, I make a lot of mistakes. I don't edit things out. The mistakes I make, you're gonna see them. And I'm glad you guys are watching with me. I really appreciate it. You don't have to, because there's a lot better YouTubers out there, but when you do watch, man, I feel happy when you guys do. So anyway, this is Ricky, GeekX Pop, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Alright? Bye!